I'm so excited.
Adventure on Odyssey.
Hi there, it's Jeff again from Picture Time, and I'm back with another cruise ship tour. For spring break this year, our family got in the van and drove all the way from Minnesota down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and boarded Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas. This ship is incredible, and I can't wait to show you all around. We're gonna do a full, complete tour and show you all the amenities and things that this ship has to offer. Now, they claim that the Odyssey of the Seas is the most technically advanced ship at sea, and there's a lot of cool tech on the ship to show you. The ship is 1,138 feet long, about 140 or so feet wide, drafts 28 feet or about 9 meters in the water, and is capable of over 22 knots. Weighs in at just under 170,000 tons. Has a capacity for as many as 5,500 guests. There's about 4,800 with us on this cruise and about 1,600 crew that are representative of about 75 nations on the ship. Wait a second, who's this guy?
Tatenda,
Hey! Tatenda's our assistant waiter. This guy is amazing. For the tour, we're gonna start all the way up here on the 16th deck, and so follow along. As with most of Royal Caribbean's ships, there are two main elevator towers, one in the center of the ship or just towards the rear from center of the ship, and one towards the front. There are also stairways that take you up and down all the decks at these points. So we will refer throughout the tour to the front or to the rear elevator bay as a reference point to navigate the amenities at each of the levels. We're gonna start here on the 16th deck towards the front of the ship, and here is the Vitality Fitness Center. The Fitness Center has a lot of things that are included with your cruise fare, free weights and Nautilus equipment. There also are classes that you can take. Our girls took some ab classes a couple mornings. There's also paid classes that you can sign up for, fitness classes in the Vitality Fitness Center up here on deck 16 towards the front of the ship. Coming down a flight of stairs from deck 16 to deck 15 at the front of the ship is the Vitality at Sea Spa. There are a lot of paid services that you can get in there, massage, variety of spa and salon treatments, and so it's a great place to come if you like that sort of thing. Moving just aft of the main elevator bay, out the port side of the ship, or the left side as the ship faces forward, is the running track, and moving towards the back is access to the North Star. The North Star makes this ship the tallest cruise ship in the world at over 300 feet above the ocean when the North Star is raised up. This is a big glass ball on the end of an arm that spins around. This is a free activity. However, you can pay extra for a longer experience. And on at-sea days, it will actually swing out over the side of the ship. We did take advantage of the free time slot, and it's pretty neat. Get a really high bird's eye view of the ship. On deck 15, as we're moving back, just to comment, there are a lot of sun chairs and places to sit out. This area is busy during the day, especially on at-sea days, and does provide a nice view over the pool deck area. This is a very sunny place to come, so if you love the sun, you like laying out, recommend coming up on deck 15 and taking up one of these chairs. Should mention I'm on the running track. Running track circles the entire ship on deck 15. 2.9 laps of this track is 1 mile. If you get here in the morning, you can get on here without a lot of other people. During the day, aside from today, this is a port day, so a lot of people are off the ship at the moment, but this can get really crowded during the day. So if you like to run and you want to run outside on the track, recommend getting out here in the morning fairly early. But if you don't like the crowds and you're wanting to run during the day, best to probably hit the Vitality at Sea Spa and run on the treadmill. Moving aft on the running track, just at the back edge of the pools, is the entrance to the rear superstructure of the ship up here on deck 15. and entrance into the SeaPlex. Let's go check this place out. The SeaPlex is a huge area to hang out, and it's very versatile. This area converts from a bumper car track to laser tag to a pickleball court to basketball courts. There's a lot of activities back here in the SeaPlex. Also on the SeaPlex is kind of arcade games, Foosball. Coming up a floor from the first level of the SeaPlex, we have a view of the laser tag. There's ping pong and additional arcade game options up here. And then over there on the port side is the Playmakers sports bar and arcade. This is a pay extra or an additional fare specialty restaurant up here just above the SeaPlex. It's probably on deck 16, but come here if you like pub fare. Also up here above the SeaPlex, 15 and 16, is access to this teens only area, 13 to 17. Let's go back down to 15 and keep exploring. Coming out of the SeaPlex on the starboard side, or the right side of the ship as you're facing forward and moving towards the back, is some outdoor games here, then the rock climbing wall. All you need is some closed-toed shoes and socks. Come down here to do the rock climbing wall. And just behind the rock climbing wall, on the starboard side of the ship towards the rear, is the sign-up area for the rock climbing wall, the FlowRider, and the RipCord iFly skydiving simulator. We'll show you that in a little bit. All the way in the back of the ship here on deck 15 is the SkyPad, which is a trapeze trampoline center area. Also the FlowRider surf and boogie boarding simulator area. You need to go sign up on the sign up area on the starboard side of the ship. They'll give you a wristband, and then if you prove you can surf, you can do that. Otherwise, boogie boarding, there's a lot of free slots open throughout the week to test your ability to boogie board or surf. And then just behind the FlowRider is the RipCord iFly skydiving simulator area, and there are limited free slots available for that on your cruise. My son and I did sign up and got to do it on the 5th day here on a port day in Labadee, and that was simply incredible. You go through a little training safety module, and then you put on a flight suit, and they give you goggles and hearing protection and a helmet, and then you get about 1 minute to try your hand at skydiving. It's just simply incredible that this is offered on a cruise ship. If you really enjoy the free sample, there are additional programs that you can pay and get a longer experience. But the free experience is about a minute, and I do recommend signing up for this experience on the first day of your cruise, right when you get on the ship, using the Royal Caribbean app, because almost all the slots were full by the end of the first day for the whole week. Moving over to the port side by the SkyPad here, at the way back of the ship is this little stairway. This is kind of a neat little find. You walk up here a deck, just around the SkyPad, and there's some glass panels that give you a view all the way down to the ocean level. If you're afraid of heights, you might not like this, but kind of a neat little area to view how high this ship is right here from the SkyPad in this little glass deck. From up here, you can also look down. See, there are a number of activities down here around the running track on deck 15. Some shuffleboard and a large chess area. Quite a bit to do outside here on deck 15. Coming back around from the back of the ship and now moving forward, let's go back into the SeaPlex here on deck 15 and to the elevator area and go down a deck and explore what's on deck 14. Coming down a flight of stairs towards the rear of the ship on deck 14. There's a lot to explore here. This is the main pool deck, but let's look around what's behind and in the back of the ship here on deck 14. Starting with Loco Fresh. This is a taco restaurant that is included with your cruise fare. Love to come in here for nachos. Moving aft of El Loco Fresh, behind the elevators towards the rear of the ship, is the entrance to the Windjammer marketplace, but also The Coastal Kitchen, which is a specialty restaurant primarily for suite guests. Behind the Coastal Kitchen is the entrance to the Windjammer Marketplace. This is the main buffet-style dining venue for the ship. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tons of good food in here. Our family loves to come in here for breakfast and lunch, but from burgers and fries to hot dishes like rice and chicken and beef. They have a bakery with a lot of fresh baked items. And then also the beverages that are included with your cruise fare: coffee, tea, water, iced tea, lemonade, and also like this Vitality drink bar that has like kiwi strawberry drink and fruit punch and so on, all included with your cruise fare. In addition to that, there is Starbucks and a bar where you can get additional specialty drinks if you have a drink package or you'd like to pay extra. Moving forward from the Windjammer on deck 14, on the starboard side of the ship is Teppanyaki, the Japanese-style specialty restaurant. Serves steaks and seafood, and the chef prepares things right at your table. This is not included with your cruise fare, and it's a fun specialty restaurant. And now, let's move out into the pool deck forward of the rear superstructure of the ship on deck 14. On the starboard side, coming out from the Windjammer, just at the back end of the pool deck here is Splashaway Bay, little play area for kids, and the main pool area with the lime and coconut bar. Lots of fun activities out here during the day, laying out, playing in the pool. Also like World's Sexiest Man competition and belly flop contests. A lot of fun live music. It's kind of the heart of the ship on sunny days, especially on at sea days. Lots of people out hanging out here on the pool deck on deck 14. Moving forward on the port side, just beyond the lime and coconut bar is another pool here towards the center of the ship in the front. Also a large screen. They do show outdoor movies here in the evening. And then coming over here to the starboard side, just back behind the lime and coconut area is Sprinkles. You can come here and get soft serve ice cream during the day. Moving forward on deck 14 from the front pool, on the starboard side or the right side of the ship as it's moving forward, is the towel station and then the entrance to the Solarium. The Solarium is a 16 plus, kind of adults only area that is under these glass panels. It's like a big greenhouse in here. It's quiet. There's some pools and hot tubs. I'm gonna pause here and show you. This is the Solarium Bistro. This is another restaurant here in the Solarium that is included with your cruise fare. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For dinner, you do need reservations, but there is no additional charge. And they serve similar items to what's served in the main dining room, but in more of a buffet style. Really nice place to just come and mix it up if you're tired of eating in the same main dining room each evening. Way down in the front of the Solarium, on both the starboard and the port sides, there's these little wings. This is right above the bridge, but you can come out here for viewing sail away or just coming out and looking at the ocean. This is a great place to come and hang out. Coming out of the Solarium Bistro on the port side of the ship, now heading back. Let's go down a deck and start exploring what's on deck 13. So decks 6 through 13 are almost all staterooms. I'm gonna go down to deck 12 because the only thing besides staterooms on deck 11 and 12 is Adventure Ocean. So towards the front of the ship on both decks 11 and 12 is the entrance to Adventure Ocean. This is an area where kids from very young into the early teens can be dropped off for activities throughout the day. Kids will get a wristband, and then there's sections of Adventure Ocean divided up by age with age-appropriate activities. Our friends that we're traveling with have an 11-year-old, and he's checked himself in and out of Adventure Ocean, says it's a great time. And this is fun for parents who want to go do adult activities, want to know that their kids are safe and having a great time. They can leave them here at Adventure Ocean. So as I said, the rest of decks 6 through 13 are primarily staterooms. And I guess now is a fair time to show you our Oceanview staterooms. My wife and I were up on deck 10 right at the front of the ship. Not a balcony room this time, but an Oceanview stateroom. Oceanview has a window, but no balcony. The rooms are small, but very adequate. 2 twin beds are pushed together for a king size or a large queen size bed. And there's also a couch that converts into a bed. There's an adequate small bathroom with a shower, sink, and toilet, as well as a lot of closet space actually on either side of the beds, and even these little cubbies that are above the top to store additional items. We've had balcony rooms in the past, but these Oceanview staterooms were a little bit less money and very adequate. Frankly, you don't really spend that much time in your room. There's so much to do on the ship. So let's go down and explore what's on deck 5. Starting way up here on the front, on deck 5, front of the ship, both on the starboard and the port sides, is the upstairs entrance to the Royal Theatre. The Royal Theatre is a large and very technically advanced theater venue, housing a lot of the main entertainment each evening. We've seen a comedian, we've seen a juggler, we've seen music shows, and then last night we saw the Effectors show. The Effectors show is incredible, using lights and lasers and drones and music. Lots of amazing shows. The talent, the quality of the shows on Royal Caribbean is really top notch, and you find all that right here at the front of the ship on decks 4 and 5 in the Royal Theatre. Coming out the doors on the starboard side on deck 5 is sort of a viewing deck. This is the deck that you board on when you get on the ship in port, but it's nice to come out here and look over the railing and take in some ocean views. Towards the rear of the ship, coming out the elevators on this same deck, there's some nice sitting areas. My wife and I have enjoyed coming out here in the mornings to read. And you can pick starboard or port side depending on if you like sun or shade, because usually one side is in the sun and one is in the shade. Let's head back in and explore moving further back on deck 5. Moving aft from the front elevators in the center of the ship on deck 5 is the Schooner Bar. Live music in here. There's also Focus Photo Gallery. This is where you can come to view and purchase the photos that Royal Caribbean has taken of you and your family throughout the cruise. Let's keep moving back here on deck 5. Over here on the starboard side, just moving back, is Izumi. It's a Japanese sushi restaurant. This is a specialty restaurant as well. Prices are not included with your cruise fare, but they offer deals usually before your cruise and even on the first day or two where you can get packages to try specialty restaurants at a discount. So if you're interested in mixing it up and trying out some different food options, I do recommend trying out a specialty restaurant. Moving further back here on the port side on deck 5 is the Bionic Bar. This was kind of a hit on the first Quantum class ship in the fleet. And these robotic arms will mix drinks for you. You just put in your drink order with your SeaPass card and they mix the drinks and pour them for you. It's quite fun to watch actually. Over here on the starboard side, across from the Bionic Bar is Wonderland. Wonderland is another specialty restaurant. The subtitle is Imaginative Cuisine. In here they have edible foam and a variety of really fun presentations and opportunity to try out some fun presentations. The chefs on this ship are quite incredible. Wonderland. Moving further aft from Wonderland and the Bionic Bar on the port side is the Shore Excursions office. If you have questions about what to do when you get off the ship, you can come here and you can book them. And you can also book those shore excursions right from the Royal Caribbean app. Now moving further back past the elevator bay, there's a lot more to explore here. There's a luxury timepieces store and office here on the starboard side. And then on the port side is Giovanni's Table. This is an Italian upscale specialty restaurant, not included with your cruise fare, but as I said, you can get restaurant packages and try out some of these specialty restaurants. This is an Italian kitchen and wine bar. Moving aft, the starboard side is the art auction area and also the NextCruise office. There are quite a few specials throughout the week to try and get you to book your next cruise here. But moving back here is Cafe 270. This is another dining venue, kind of a deli that is included with your cruise fare. And they have breakfast sandwiches and burritos, sandwiches during the day, and also another drink station for coffee and tea, juice, and yet another Starbucks location. Moving aft from Cafe 270 is 270. The 270 is a multi-purpose venue. You can come back here and eat in the morning, and they have these large glass windows that look out over the back of the ship. But at night, 270 transforms into another technologically advanced theater venue. They had a show called The Book, which utilizes a lot of different technological marvels to put on quite a show. I was told that the cost to build this theater venue was $37 million. There's actually no backstage, so they have these ports on the top and down at the bottom, as well as a moving stage that allow a whole bunch of things to move in and out and off the stage from above or below it. And then kind of the highlight of this theater are these robotic arms with 100-inch LED monitors that can move around and do some crazy things in the shows. I was told that these robotic arms were like $7 million. And the guy that programmed them is the same guy that programmed the Mars rover. This is an impressive theater and multi-purpose venue right here at the far back of the ship on deck 5. The 270 does span 2 floors. There's a balcony deck here, and so you can take a little stairway up from deck 5, sit upstairs if you'd like. And on the starboard side, just moving forward, is the library. When there's not a show going on here, it's a quiet place to come and read or play games. They call this back area on deck 5, the rear of the ship, the Via. Moving forward from the Via here now on deck 5, let's go down to deck 4 and explore what's down there. Kind of the heart of the ship with the Royal Esplanade. Ooh, let's go down to deck 4. Just behind the elevators on deck 4, in the rear of the ship, is the deck 4 entrance to the main dining room. This main dining room spans a large part of the rear of the ship on decks 3 and 4, and it's where we've come to dinner most evenings. The staff in here and the food is excellent. We have from 11 years old to 19 years old, and everyone's tried different things and had a wonderful dining experience here this week on our cruise. Let's keep moving forward. I guess you could say the Royal Esplanade here is kind of the heart of the ship. It'd be called the Royal Promenade on most of the other Royal Caribbean cruise ships like this, but this one's a little unique. Starting back here at the rear of the Esplanade, on the starboard side is guest services, and on the opposite side is the entrance to Bolero's. This is a bar venue with a dance floor, a lot of live music in here. Looks like today they're setting up for some sort of an art auction. Moving forward here is yet another Starbucks location on the starboard side. A lot of shops here open throughout the day. And then the Cafe Promenade. This is included with your cruise fare. My wife and I love to come down here for tea in the evenings. They also have cookies and snacks, variety of desserts throughout the day. Then moving just forward of that is Sorrento's Pizza. This is open until late in the evening and is included with your cruise fare. The pizza is really good. Royal Caribbean has really perfected their recipe. And I will note too, my wife and my daughter have celiac disease. They're gluten-free. And I think we'll maybe do another video of just their experience. But Sorrento's Pizza will even make them a gluten-free pizza that has been fantastic. They love to come down here and be treated like royalty, even though they have celiac disease. Coming out of Sorrento's and moving forward is the Crown and Compass, Irish pub type venue, live music in here in the evenings. And then moving forward in the Royal Esplanade, the upstairs entrance to the music hall. The music hall is a bar and live music venue. There's bands and orchestras that perform in here, as well as karaoke a couple times a day. My daughter sings, and it's been fun to have her sing in here during karaoke. The life that I'm living, but I know that I can, so my problems going back. Is this home? And moving all the way forward on deck 4 is the main entrance to the Royal Theatre. Let's go down to deck 3. Just from the front elevator area here on deck 3 is the lower entrance to the music hall. Deck 3 houses the music hall, the Casino Royale, and then the deck 3 entrance to the main dining room, which is where we ate every evening. Let's keep exploring deck 3. All the way in the back of the ship here on deck 3 is the entrance to the main dining room. Coming out of the main dining room and moving forward from the center rear set of elevators is the entrance to the Casino Royale. Once they move into international waters, this opens up and there's all kinds of slot machines, blackjack, poker, a variety of different craps tables, and a whole bunch of casino gaming if you're into that kind of thing. And all the way here at the front of the casino is the front and lower entrance to the music hall venue again. And we're back here at the front set of elevators here on deck 3. And this is where our family met before we got off the ship on port days. But let's go down to deck 2. Deck 2 is where you get off the ship on port days. It also houses the ship's medical center. I think that the cruise ship tour here on deck 3 and deck 2 is pretty much done. Let's go wrap it up at breakfast. Are we headed up to the Windjammer for breakfast?
Solarium.
The Solarium? Let's go. That was quite a breakfast here in the Solarium Bistro. And that pretty much concludes our tour of the Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Seas. Thanks again for joining us. I highly recommend this ship, and if you haven't cruised before, Royal Caribbean does a fantastic job. They really have done this for a long time and really know what they're doing. And frankly, as a family of 5, trying to find creative ways to travel and to make memories as a family on a budget, really there's not a vacation that is all-inclusive, that has so much to do, that is as reasonably priced as cruising is. We've been really, really pleased with the value that we get from cruising. Thanks for watching. Please, if you haven't so far, please like and subscribe and check back, as we'll have additional travel content and other content as we as a family try to make memories and enjoy one another and God's creation and try to do it on a budget. Thanks for watching and have a great day. We'll see you again soon.